international politics at Birmingham University. So Scott, we've been hearing this song for a long time now. We need to phase out Russian oil and gas. Now they're talking about doing this by the end of the year. Is that in any way realistic?
It's realistic with oil. And that's what we're going to see this week with the European Union in its sixth set of sanctions, is that it is likely, possibly with exemptions for two countries, Hungary and Slovakia, to announce this phased timetable on oil. Significantly, the Germans over the weekend said, look, we have sharply reduced our dependence already on Russian oil, gas, and coal, and we intend to keep doing so. And of course, Germany is Europe's largest customer, or one of its largest customers of Russian energy products. With gas, it's a longer timetable. You're talking 2024, but you are going to see a reduction. In fact, we're already seeing a reduction in imports of Russian gas. It will not be a complete cutoff. We're talking about months rather than weeks. But yes, what you're seeing is a reaction accompanying the tightening sanctions on Russia, and of course, accompanying the increasing military aid to Ukraine, which is, unless Russia can get a quick victory here, it actually is facing increasing pressure from a Europe which will not break itself away from support of Kyiv.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that you mentioned we really do need to separate the situation with oil and gas. We often lump them together, but there are two entirely different animals. So give us a sense of how much oil to Europe comes from Russia, and where's it going to come from now? If I had to guess, I would say Scandinavia.
Oh, there's a series of places from where it could come. Russia provided a minority of European oil supplies. It provides much more in gas supplies, which we can discuss in a moment. In terms of oil supplies, you've been seeing support coming from North America, from the US and from Canada. You've mentioned Scandinavian sources. There have been approaches made to Gulf countries, including Qatar, the UAE, to increase their supplies to Europe. That will probably take some time. But yes, I think the significant thing you can talk about, because you mentioned two countries that Russia said, all right, we're going to make a message out of you. We're going to cut off our supplies of energy products to you, Poland and Bulgaria, in recent days. You have not heard of panic in Poland and Bulgaria, that all of a sudden they are completely starved of energy. In fact, and they're giving assurances, we're getting supplies from elsewhere. We actually are going to be able to provide for our citizens. If this holds up, Russia has some leverage with oil. It has a bit more with gas, but that leverage is diminishing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if Europe cannot go cold turkey with the gas, it still is looking for every way possible to eliminate the Russian supply from its stores. So as we see this evolve over the next several months, how big of a hit to the Russian economy is this going to be? And what effects are we going to see? How will we see that play out?
You need to put this in an even broader context, because in fact, at this point, Russian oil or European oil and gas purchases from Russia are at about the same level as they were before the invasion. But the wider context is financial, because how is Russia going to use the money that it receives in terms of trade, investment, in terms of buying goods from other countries, when it is increasingly isolated from the financial system? That's why the phase that you're seeing right now is this demand from Russia, which is being rejected by the European, led by the EU, to get payment in rubles. Apart from Hungary, I think that's the only significant country that has acceded to the ultimatum. What does it mean for the Russian economy? At this point, the Russian economy is on a wartime footing. There is still production to try to cover basic needs. The ruble has rebounded after falling 30% because of massive central bank intervention. But Russia has used up a lot of its foreign reserves that it can get to do that. And the question is not whether the Russian economy will collapse this week, next week. It's rather whether we get into the summer and the autumn, whether it can continue to finance this military effort and provide for its own people.
Right, right. Great points. Scott Lucas, always a pleasure.
Thank you.